in Japan, which is a pretty good payday.
If you go to the middleweight division, the whole middleweight division's lit up. Like even the guy right number 10, David Lemieux, could fight Rob Brandt. Horn. There's your guy Jeff Horn over there in Australia who's already worked.
They talked about that as well, yes.
Yeah, they've already worked with Top Rank. That's a WBA title over there in Australia. Will do 50,000. Jeff Horn has to be interested in tonight on what he's seen yesterday. So what? The guy throws a lot of punches. There's way too many flaws behind the 1,200 punches that he threw. So Rob Brandt has an opportunity to make a lot of money, but he's got to tighten up his skills big time before he starts fighting the elite. I'm telling you, the way
sloppy. It was pretty sloppy. It looked very
look at
sloppy.
His feet. Yeah, he's squared up. He's not even in the right stance when he's punching. But when he crosses his feet, a professional boxer is going to time that. Even if you can punch a David Lemieux type power, a Triple G type power.
Yeah, his technical aspects are completely flawed.
It's like, dude. And then when you just watched him circle, when he was just trying to circle, he constantly was crossing over. Someone's going to hit him on the gloves and drop him. When you get into that elite level, they know when you're off balance, how to drop you for that point. So he might throw 1,200 punches against David Lemieux. I promise you, David Lemieux is probably going to drop him 3 times because of balance issues and win the fight anyways on the cards.
Andrew, you're missing the point.
No, you've done great. No, Bob's done great. If he has a middleweight that he wants to step up,
that's right, Andrew. Who is the real winner from Friday night? Say it.
Who's this?
Who's the real winner from Friday night, Andrew?
Oh, you?
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, you've done great with the kid. He's going to get a payday, but I don't agree with Andre Ward and Tim.
But I'm going to get a payday.
I don't agree with Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward at all. Friday night or Saturday. When did this happen? Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday night.
Yeah, we watched this on Friday. This is what we did with our Friday entry because we have kids.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that.
We don't go out anymore and have fun. We stay home and watch Michaela Mayer.
The fight wouldn't go 6 rounds. He fights any of the top 3 in the division. Jacobs, G.
Oh, yeah. Well, to answer that question, shortly after that fight, a press release / article appeared on Boxing Scene. Once Bob had time to surmise his options, I think Bob would prefer him to go fight Murata in Japan. I think that pays really well. But they floated out. And by the way, I'm going to show you guys the anatomy of an article if you're watching the video. When you don't see any byline, that's what they call it. What's a byline, Andrew? That's who wrote it, correct? The byline, that would be who wrote it. This one doesn't seem to have a writer on it, Andrew. Does this feel like a press release almost to you?
That's probably what it is. Yes, sir.
Correct. And be very aware of that when you guys are on websites, when you start going around. The internet boxing community, much like the internet pro wrestling community or MMA community, you guys take things as gospel facts when they're actually written by the promoter. In this particular case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In this particular case, I will tell you more than likely this was written by a guy named Evan Korn, who is the PR guy for Top Rank. How do I know? I get Evan's emails. Okay. That's, I talked to Bob on the phone, as you can tell. He's asleep right now, but I wake him up and get him on. And we bring you that quality entertainment. So they're floating. I'm not going to read the article because I already know it's going to be bullshit. So they say that they fought in front of a sold out crowd of 2,225. I don't know where you find an arena that small, but let's break down 2,200 people. That means you just put all the people on the viewing side across. You put tables and VIPs on the other side and then cameras on the far side. So you've probably cut this thing down to maybe a third or a quarter of its actual size. Maybe this thing was a 7,000 or 8,000 seat arena venue, Andrew, that they sort of cut down to make this happen in St. Paul.
It kind of looked like a ballroom setup to me.
Yeah.
Like the rows didn't go too far until you hit a wall. So it looked
I'm
like
not
they were in
shitting
a
on
ballroom.
Wait, let me make it clear. I'm not shitting on ballroom boxing. It's about the only thing I get
was
approved
bad.
to go see. No, I don't have any problems. Rob Brandt's the middleweight champion of the world. I don't want to break it to anybody. You're going from fighting in a ballroom to, I want to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's what they're floating.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alvarez is fighting in a 100,000 seat stadium.
Yeah. So of course they always give you the quotes. I want to fight Canelo. Shamalama Ding Dong was a great champion. Was a great fighter. I started a little sloppy. You finished a lot sloppy too, by the way. And there's the biggest problem with this kid, Rob Brandt. I mean, I don't want to shit on Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, but I'm going to shit on Eddie Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Good God. The kid has a very messy style, Andrew. It's very difficult to watch him.
He has an athletic style. You didn't hear him say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is just a nice way of saying, it's just that's the politically correct way to say the dude doesn't know what he's doing, man. So, I mean, everything Brandt does looks forced. It looks like a guy who just picked up the sport. It's not natural at all. The flaws that he had, like I said, Lee, these are things you're supposed to know in the first few weeks, months of training, right? That you don't want to cross your feet. You don't, when you're going, you don't want to extend your arm or bring your arm down to your damn waist when you throw a jab. There were so many things that he was doing wrong. Yes, he has a WBA title, and I know why they're going for Canelo. The next 10 opponents above him, David Lemieux, Derevchenko, Andrade, Horn, Saunders, Charlo, Jacobs, Golovkin, Alvarez. This shit is not easy. What a era.
Oh, there's nobody on that list who can beat. Nobody.
Exactly.
So we're going to Japan.
Andrew, if you don't see my ass going to Japan, well, I wouldn't go. I'll send my double, right?
I believe he's going to Australia.
Whatever. I'm not going to Australia either, Andrew. I'm just telling you. I'm going to send this kid somewhere else and get a payday and keep the belt in the family.
Jeff Horn is family. He's your
Jeff
extended
Horn is
family.
very family.
Yes, sir.
Boy, did he trade up from the whole Manny Pacquiao thing. He distanced himself. So there you go. You guys are all caught up to date with Friday night, which takes us to PBC, Premier Boxing Champions. Hello. Welcome. I'm Kate Abdo with a deep voice. First of all, we've gone from some really interesting presentations on PBC, on Fox, to I don't understand what you're doing. Why Kate Abdo? Why Ray Boom Boom Mancini? And my biggest question about the telecast, Andrew, why Caleb Plant? When they first went to Caleb Plant to start this thing off, right? Just to start the evening, he actually stammered and stuttered and couldn't think of his own name.
The camera,
he was high. Like he was literally like,
no, it's
are we on?
Yeah, cameras are on.
We're starting. Yeah, I'm Caleb. I fight.
I like my dad in the corner.
Yeah. Cool, dude. Pass the bong, right? And that's not if you didn't watch the BBC telecast, that's me not being a jerk. I mean, that's pretty much the reality of what went down the other night.
She literally asked them the same question twice. She went to a commercial with Ray.
Hello, this is Kate Abdo. I'm here again with Caleb Plant. How you doing, Caleb? Oh, we're on again. Bro.
Yeah, she said, how's it feel having your dad in the corner? And then when they came back, she asked them the same fucking thing again.
Wait, and my favorite, well, my dad trains me, and Ray just shit on that just a second ago by saying it's bad. But, bro, I like it because my dad told me to say that. That's actually what happened. They came back from the break. Ray shit on it, right? Ray's like, oh, it's really hard to have your dad in the corner, blah, 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 blah. I'm in the footsteps of my dad, and I clearly have daddy issues. And then Kate Abdo, what do you think over there, Caleb? Bro, I like having my dad in the corner. I think it's cool. But, whatever Ray said, he's smarter than me. Whatever. The whole thing was just weird, Andrew.
They don't need them. Yeah, they're lucky they found a great duo in Guzan and Lennox. Even Lennox and Guzan were getting into it last night. Lennox Lewis would not give up on he's got to go in and out. He's got to go in and out. He kept saying that through the whole first fight. And I think that got on Guzan's nerves, but I'm very interested when them two are calling a fight, because I believe I have respect in both of their knowledges for the sport. So I believe you're learning something when you really listen to how they're breaking down the fight. So the PBC they have a winning combo with them too. And the other three, they could just drop. They could drop a good portion of that telecast as commentators.
First fight of the evening was Sebastian Fundito. I would like that with chorizo, please. Sebastian Fondaro takes on Donnie Marshall. The most interesting fact about this
sound good. You want Fondaro's chorizo? And she said
Fundito with chorizo.
Oh, with.
What is the white guy saying on that?
I know. I was like, what did he say?
First of all, let's talk about Sebastian Fondaro and his 6'7" height. Dude, he's the death stick at welter.
He should be making like 200.
It's almost ridiculous for a welterweight.
He should be in the NBA at 6'7" with his frame. I don't understand why he's not blocking balls somewhere in the paint. He should be making like 100, 200 million every 5 years from the NBA.
Well, he only weighs 140 pounds. I mean,
that's fine. All you got to do is block balls. They ain't trying to rebound and block balls. That's all you're doing at 6'7". Come on, you got a little shot on the inside. Great. That gives you a little bit more money, but I don't know what the hell he's doing as a fucking junior middleweight, but he looked good.
He's got to be a pro wrestler or a basketball player with that height, but I don't know what else to do with him.
Basically, he looked good. He looked good. He takes way too many
welterweight division. He took on Marshall last night, and as you saw, if you're watching the video, for those of you who didn't watch it at all, in the third round of the first fight of the evening, he takes out Marshall pretty successfully.
Yeah.
And that's about all there is to that fight. I mean,
Guzan was saying before the fight, though, that the kid had that uppercut. He gets a lot of leverage because of his 6'7", and when he brings that in, that's the punch that actually took Marshall out. Marshall was doing good. I like the fight. They did a lot of inside fighting. Fendura, for whatever reason, was fighting on the inside, but he's comfortable there.
Height either. Again, this is the second fight where I've seen taller guys, like, they bend down to the level. I don't understand that. If you're tall, stay up. Put your head back. Like,
jab right hand should be your number one thing.
Go watch the Klitschko tapes, for God's sakes.
Yep.
Keep that chin as far away, because he's got little tiny spindly legs. Like, if somebody hits this dude on the button, he's gonna go down.
And he takes a lot of them right off the chin. That was the whole PBC night. I believe in the next, there was a lot of fighters taking him right off the chin in this telecast, and this guy was one of them. 21 years old. His brain is fresh. There's another thing, I think, when he moves up in competition, especially him being a junior middleweight, you got fighters like Hurd and Charlo there. These guys are knockout artists. You can't take punches right on the chin like that.
I'm sure he will be fighting for the welterweight title within the next 5 minutes based on the math, which takes us to our co-main event. By the way, what is up with the whole, we've got Fernando Vargas like he's a famous boxer? I don't want to be a jerk, because there are probably Fernando Vargas fans listening. But for those of you who forget the end of Fernando Vargas's career, wasn't it just basically littered with losses and steroids?
Yeah, talking a lot of shit. He made a career on his mouth. He badmouthed De La Hoya for a long time before he took that ass whooping.
Well, he fits right in with the PBC then, doesn't he, as the representative. Omar Figueroa Jr. takes on John Molina Jr. in the co-main event last night on Fox TV. All right. My humble opinion of this fight, if you did not watch it, by the way, it was a unanimous decision for Figueroa Jr. But that's not the way the fight looked. The fight looked to be extremely close, right? And I guess that's the deal PBC's got to deal with, because Goosen and Lennox Lewis are just going to say whatever they're going to say. Like, I don't think they care about